Hello everyone, my name is Audrine and I'm going to present you the project called The Government and You. In this project, I will cover around 4 questions. The first one is about what are the three branches of the US government? What does each branch do? Our uppers, Republicans and Democrats, what are other parties which are in the US? And the last one, we'll see how a bill turns out to be a law.
I, Joella, in the video give my informed consent to be interviewed, and this video will be used for an academic purpose.
I, David Diravizi, give my informed consent to be interviewed in this video to be used for academic purpose.
I think there is the executive branch, legislative, and the other one, I don't remember what.
Okay.
The three branches of government. So about that question, I know that there is executive branch, there is legislative branch, and then there is a judicial branch.
Okay, thank you so much. The first branch is executive branch. The second one is legislative branch, and the last one is judicial branch.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I know that the executive branch deals with overseeing, like executing the laws.
Yeah.
Also, the legislative branch is the one that is in charge of making up the laws, setting up the laws.
Yeah.
And the judicial branch is the one to abide by those laws executed and set up by legislative, and the judicial branch use them to make
Okay.
penalties for people who did not abide by those laws.
Thank you so much. The executive branch of the US is administered by the President of the United States, and the President is the one who enforces the laws that the legislative branch, which we call Congress, makes. However, the President is voted by the US citizens who are 18 years and above. For the legislative part of the US government, which is called also as Congress, and it is the one which makes law. It is divided into two parts. One part is called Senator, and another part is called the House of Representatives. The job of representatives is to meet and discuss to see if the bill should become law, as I said, or which we will see in the last question. And in the US, some states just have 2 representatives, while others have around 40, so it depends on their constitutions. However, both senators and representatives are selected by the eligible voters in the states, means 18 and above. Yeah. For the last part, which is the judiciary part of the US, it is the federal, like the US federal includes the Supreme Court and then 9 justices. It is also has special judges who is in charge of interpreting laws according to the constitutions. This comes to confirm that they are the highest courts in the country, since they're the ones who interpret the laws according to the constitution. And the federal judicial system also has lower courts located in each state to hear cases involve federal issues. So how do they connect? In executive branch, the president carries out federal laws and recommend new ones, and acting as chief law enforcement officer, and he's also the one who votes the laws. In legislative branch, which is headed by the Congress, which includes the House of Representatives and the senators. The main task of these two bodies is to make the laws, yeah, as I said. So in legislature branch headed by the Supreme Court, its powers include interpreting the constitutions, reviewing laws, and deciding cases involving states' rights. So this is how they're connected. They work each other to support each other while making the bill to become the laws.
I think the Green Party. Yes.
United States, the third party that I know is the Green Party.
Oh,
Actually, in America, there are major political parties and minor political parties. The major political parties are Republican and Democrats parties, but there are also the third party, which is a political party other than the two major parties, and some of them are Green Party, Reform Party, Libertarians, Constitution Party, and the Natural Law parties. Actually, there are around 52 parties which are so minor. Actually, they help the Republicans and Democrats, which are the major parties in the US. So let us now talk about the history of Republican and Democrats, like how they begin. Even though Democratic and Republican parties are so famous, like they were one parties at the beginnings. At the beginning, they were called Democratic Republican Party, and that party was organized by James Madison Thomas Jefferson in 1791. Its purpose was to stand in opposition against the Federalist Party in upcoming election. The Democratic Republican Party had a mission of preventing the U.S. government to become too similar to a monarchy. In 1790s, the party increases its members, and in 1801, Thomas Jefferson was voted into office and brought the party to the power, which means after Thomas being voted, the party has started to gain some members and some power. And in 1812, the Federalist Party lost most of its support, which turns to Democratic Republic to not have any opposition. And from that, the Democratic Republican starts to argue based on differences, and since they did not have any any oppositions, so they start maybe dividing themselves because like their missions had, some of the people have started to to deviate their missions, which comes to split up the party into several different ways. The Democratic went aside and the Republicans went in their ways. And over the century, the Democratic and Republicans parties are still the major party in the US, as you know. Let's now talk about what is the impact do third minor parties have or on national politics. Even if they are minor parties, many of which have contributed ideas and policies that have become mainstays of American political life and laws. They always tend to bring up some issues or some topics which Democrats or Republicans have forgotten. And again, all of these parties have failed presidential candidates in the last several elections. The third parties have had a major influence in the U.S. policies and political debate despite their minor presence in the Congress. As I said, even if they are minor, they try to bring up some issues which have forgotten by the Republicans or Democrats. So they play a major role in the United States constitutions.
No, I don't remember.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm not very sure, but I know that it started as an idea, and it starts by the legislative branch, whereby the people in the legislative branch discuss about it, and then after coming to a same conclusion, they bring it to the executive branch. The president approves it if he agrees with that idea, and then they bring it to the judicial branch, where they call the members of judicial branch set it, and people who didn't abide by the laws are punished.
Okay, thank you so much.
Actually, we have the basic processes have around 13 process. First of all, there is bill which is drafted. The member of Congress gather together and then draft a bill according to maybe the need of the population or the need that they see can help the company to be developed. After that comes the introduction in the House. The representatives introduce the bill in the House, and the only members can introduce the bills, like members of the representatives. There comes the third step, which is about send the bill to the committee. after introducing that bill in the House, the Speaker of the House sent the bill to a committee to see if, and then after they come on the committee action. So after sending that's the committee, at this step the committee votes for the bill, and if the bill passes, it goes to the rules committee. If it doesn't, this is where the step by which many bills fail. But if a bill comes to pass, it goes directly to the fifth step, which is rules committee. This part, like, it decides the rules of for debates, and when the bill will come up for the debate, like after being voted, the bill is immediately sent to the committee action, which makes them like to bring up rules. I mean, the committee bring up the rule to decide if the rule for debate, if the rule is debatable, or when the bill will become up for debate. After that comes floor action. The House debate the bill and may even add some amendments. If the majority votes in favor of the bill, it goes to the senator. And after that, it comes like after floor action comes introduction in Senate. As I said, if the House debate the bill and the majority votes for that the favor of the bill, like the next step is to introduce that bill in Senate, and then after that comes again the committee action, which means like after introducing to the Senate, the committee votes again the bill to see what they can add or what they can remove, and after that it passes to the bill coder, which is a majority floor leader decide when the whole senator will consider the bill. Yeah, and then after again that it comes floor action. At this stage, the bill is debated and amendment may be added. If a majority votes in favor of the bill, it's returned to the House, and after that it comes to the conference committee. If the House rejects one of the bill, it goes to a conference committee of members from both houses. It works out as a compromise. After that, we have the vote on compromise. Both houses must approve changes made by the conference committee. If approved, the bill goes to the president. So after that comes the major part, which is about the presidential action. So this is the step where the president votes the bill, and if it approves, like after all these steps, the president is the last one to approve that the bill has to become a law or to reject it. So at this point, if the president approves the bill, it immediately becomes a law. Yeah, this is how all those steps, how the bill has to pass these all steps to become a law. So let's now see the role of sponsors committees and congressional debates. The sponsors are in charge of bringing the bill, resolution, or amendment at the House. The committee helps to organize the most important work of Congress, considering shaping and passing laws to govern the nation. And the congressional debate is known as student legislative. Its role is to emulate members of the U.S. Congress by debating bills and resolutions. So all those people, all those sponsors committee and the congressional debates have main role to turn the bill into a law. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you get something from this presentation. Thank you so much.